Good evening, folks. Today we're going to look at sevoflurane. It's one of the volatile anaesthetics. We'll have a look at presentation, mechanism of action, some of the usages, some of the effects and side effects, pharmacokinetics, and a little bit about the volatile variables. If we start off with presentation, sevoflurane is a polyfluorinated isopropyl methyl ether. It's a liquid at room temperature. It's got low solubility in rubber and plastic. It's non-flammable, and it's got a pleasant odour which makes it an ideal agent for gas-based anaesthetic inductions. When we think about the mechanism of action, like the other volatile anaesthetics, it's not completely understood. There are hypotheses around it acting on GABA receptors within the central nervous system and potentiating the actions of glycine receptors, although, as I say, we don't completely understand at the moment. When we think about the usages of sevoflurane, we've used them obviously predominantly for maintenance of anaesthesia, but as I've mentioned, it's got a pleasant odour. It's ideal for use for gas-based inductions, and this is particularly prudent in paediatric cases. When we think about the effects or side effects of sevoflurane, on the respiratory system it is a respiratory depressant, but it does raise your respiratory rate, but because of that depressional effect it leads to a raise in PaCO2. When we think of the cardiovascular system, it leads to a drop in systemic vascular resistance, it leads to a drop in blood pressure, although in this instance it actually helps maintain cardiac stability. Your heart rate remains relatively the same. There's no reflex tachycardia associated with that. When we think about the pharmacokinetics, it's hepatically metabolized. About 3 to 5% is metabolized. There's no renal metabolism with sevoflurane. Predominantly it's metabolized by cytochrome P450 and the subtype is 2E1. It is known at certain contexts to produce an inorganic fluoride, which has been shown to be renotoxic in certain circumstances, but the evidence surrounding that in humans is relatively low. One of the things to mention when speaking of pharmacokinetics, we must mention compound A. Compound A is a vinyl ester that's formed when sevoflurane interacts with CO2 absorbers, such as the soda lime. It's more predominantly associated with potassium hydroxide rather than sodium hydroxide combinations. It's been shown in rat models to cause renal toxicity, cerebrotoxicity, and hepatic damage. In the rat models, it was 300 parts per million, which equates roughly in the human population to 150 parts per million. Now, when that's been extrapolated out and looked at in terms of the human population, even at low flows, broadly speaking, we only generate about 20 parts per million, and there's been no evidence of any hepatotoxic or renotoxic damage from compound A from sevoflurane in that population. When we think about the volatile variables, the blood gas coefficient is 0.7, the oil gas coefficient is 80, and the MAC of sevoflurane is 1.8.